Morning.
Good morning.
As you can tell, it's a little cold.
It is mid-February in 2023.
Mid-February. It is literally mid-February. Yesterday, Valentine's Day. Tomorrow, anniversary. Mid-February.
Haven't recorded one of these in a while.
No.
It's a bit weird. This is on mooring. We've been here 6 months, maybe?
A little more than 6 months, yeah. It's a good place to be. It's right on the River Cam.
So, yeah, it's midwinter, and as you can see, we'd usually, around this time, have a roof full of coal.
Except that we don't anymore.
And we also have this rather strange chimney.
Yes. That chimney right there is our, it is the chimney. It is not actually the heating device, but that's our reflux stove. It's been installed. It's been working. It's made it through winter for us. Well, at least to February.
And then we ran out of diesel 2 days ago.
Yes, completely ran out. Ran dry. No more fire. Go bye.
So,
and it has gotten progressively colder the last few days, so we need to get more diesel. But today it is nice enough weather, and the water levels have been nice enough that we're going to take a trip over to the Fish and Duck.
Basically, we haven't taken the boat out for 6 months, and I miss it.
Yeah, we miss it, so it'd be nice to get a cruise in. But we have this issue over here, as you can see, that tower there. That is our 4G, well, it's actually a 5G antenna, but we don't have a 5G SIM card. Anyway, it's a 4G, 3G, 4G, 5G antenna, a MIMO antenna, pointed over towards Milton, which is where the tower is. And it is what we use to get internet onto the boat. Now, unfortunately, we are kind of physically tied to it.
So it does feel like when we put it up, it did feel like a real tether, like we weren't free just to cruise whenever we wanted, because it's a bit of a pain to get it down. It was a bit of a pain to install the thing.
Yeah, and we've also got our solar panels up, so we've got to take our solar panels down. Yeah, they're over there. And so we've also got our solar panels up. So we've got to take our solar panels down, and we've got to lower that aerial and then put it onto the boat, and hopefully not drop it into the river at any point, and have it dragging behind us from the wireless antenna cable. It would not be good for the wireless antenna.
It's like a scaffolding pole, and it's really heavy. I can't lift it. No. But it is a 2-person job to take it down, so...
Yes, 2-person and 1 dog supervising. So... So yeah, I mean, really the trip is fairly small. Like, it's basically get the boat running, back the boat up, take it into Bottisham Lock, and then cruise down the hour and a half to Fish and Deck, and then back again. So here we go. We also have a dog that is impatient.
And he's going to get a shock when we start the engine and actually move the boat. So.
Yes, but he's going to get a walk over to the Bottisham Lock over there. Huge trip.
It's
today.
Actually set for us, so...
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Well, then we better get going before we lose that lock.
Because this river's so busy in February.
It's so busy in February. All right, let's go. Ready?
That wobbles, be careful.
I just wish that wasn't as slippery as it is.
We haven't unscrewed these since, like, September, so there's a good chance they've rusted up.
There's not just a good chance, they are definitely rusted up.
Because our good intentions of putting WD-40 on haven't happened. So the technique when doing this solo is to take one bracket off, loosen the other bracket, rest it on your head. Well, it's pretty heavy when you're up there. Of course it would be easier if I was helping, but I'm not. How are your fingers?
I can't feel them. It's just pain.
So this is the bracket we made for the Wi-Fi antenna. It's just on the scaffolding pole and it's bolted on down here. So the easiest thing to do, and it's not easy, is to undo those bolts and lift the whole onto the roof. So the way we've done it before is I've done the bolts while Michael supported the pole. So when we installed this pole, we spent a long time getting the antenna pointed at the tower. So we want to put it back in exactly the same position. So what we did the last time we took the boat out is we just put a little mark on it, but it's gone now. So hopefully we'll be able to just slot it straight back into place.
Yeah, so this is the fun bit where we've been using the engine all winter to charge up the battery, but we haven't actually been out here to run the thing. So even though it's been running, it hasn't been running under load. And I've got to check the antifreeze and the belts and stuff, which hopefully nothing's gone loose during the time that we've been using it on the winter. Because this is the first time we're going to actually put it under load when we reverse out of here. No doubt we have settled into the silt real good, so that could take a bit of time.
Yeah, because we're in this little basin and it's quite lovely.
Yeah. Yep, we're low. Okay.
The problem with our mooring is the stand sticks out into the water. So I can't actually be out there to help Michael. So this is the view I've got, but I just heard some glugging, so I think the antifreeze went in. And I'm being very helpful by holding onto the deck.
Oh, helpful.
How helpful am I being?
Oh, very helpful. It's not hitting me in the head now.
All good?
Well, I gotta start the engine and then pop it open again. Okay, yeah, that is too loose.
So the belts were a little loose when we ran the engine, so Michael's just back there tightening them up and I'm holding the deck board. And after we said that this river was really quiet, our boat's just gone into the lock.
Okay, belts are tight. This was clearly not an act of intelligent design.
So that took longer than we wanted, but we're ready to go. The belts are tightened and now we just need to untie from the mooring. And as I said, the boat's hanging out on the back of the river, so it's not like you can just jump on and off and do it. So it's a bit of a process, but we can do that now. Put George's life jacket on. Now I'm trying to get him on the lead. And he just wants to get on the boat. George, come here.
Obviously very important to follow the instructions on how to operate V-doors. So I'm about to operate these V-doors. That's the stop button, that's the open button, it's the close button. Close the slackers. Close the V-doors. V-doors are closing. Not how exciting this was. Uh-oh, where's George's ball? There's George's ball. We've had a ball escape. We've had a ball escape. Get the ball, George. Where's the ball? Back over to the closing V-doors. Come here, George. Help Daddy operate this thing.
I've got poos, I've got harnesses, I've got dogs, tripods. Meh.
We're well on our way. That's how long you got to wait. 200. 1. Oh no, it's 1 minute, 58 seconds, 57, 56. This is so exciting. 1 minute, 54 seconds to go. T minus 151. The lock descendeth, the lock giveth, the lock taketh away. The water, at least. So definitely chilly this morning, and George is getting talkative, so that's useful. He's over there somewhere, and he's decided that he wants some attention, which, you know, can you blame him, really? I mean, he is the center of it usually.
Just saying, Perseverance looks a bit unloved.
Yeah. So we've forgotten how to operate locks. Press the gate close button.
The guillotine wasn't shut, I don't think, because the light on this box wasn't on, but now the lights come on, so when I press slack is open. You ready to go, George?
It is nice today.
How many mistakes did we make coming through that lock?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, this is the problem when you get going, you know, it's been a while.
Going.
You haven't cruised in a while. And then you're like, what have I forgotten?
Everything.
Everything, right, yeah. You get to the lock and it's like, what do these buttons do again?
I think it was about 2 hours between us leaving, like, stepping off the boat ready to go.
And actually moving.
And leaving the lock. Back in the day, we could just start the engine and go.
Yeah. Be on our way within a few minutes.
So you can actually walk on both sides of the river here. We've walked on this side. We actually walked all the way to Ely via Wickham.
Up where?
Yeah.
And the Wickham Fen.
We went to Wickham Fen. And then we were going to come back, but Michael suggested we went to Ely. Luckily, there's a train that takes us all the way home. I can't remember how many miles it was. About 15, maybe.
About 15 miles. Yeah. We got to Ely and you were all like, I'm done. And I'm all like, let's go to the cathedral.
I don't think you were. I was done though. We picked a nice day to go and get diesel.
Yeah. You know, it is, it's a little cold, especially with the wind.
And kind of sad that we need to get a train tomorrow, because otherwise we could have stayed out for the night.
Yeah.
Because we were planning to go yesterday, and if we'd gone yesterday, we could have actually gone up onto Reach Load Upware and had a night there, because it's possibly one of my favourite spots on the whole network, and it's only 3 miles from where we moor.
Yeah.
So we should go there. It's just because it's so quiet. But then our mooring's really quiet. I'm looking forward to having some heat in the boat tonight. It hasn't been too cold. Mind you, I haven't been the one getting up early.
No, yeah, that's the thing. We get up in the morning and you're all like, oh, Michael's gotten up to go, you know, start breakfast and everything. I'll just roll up in these extra covers.
After having no duvet all night because you and George.
Yeah, I don't think you had no duvet.
Last night you were like fussing with George because he couldn't jump on the bed, so you had to help him on the bed, and then he flopped down on your side and you were like, no, George, this isn't good. This is where you go. And you literally put him like slap bang where my legs go. Where he stayed for the next 4 hours.
Yeah.
But anyway, it hasn't been that cold. It's like 2 degrees at night. Because it's been sunny, the boat warms up in the day. It's just as soon as you lose the sun at like 5.
Yeah, that's when it goes like solidly cold overnight.
But it has made me realise that we perhaps don't need the fire on quite as much as we had, because after it was freezing, like in December, we just had it on 24 hours without really necessarily needing it at night or needing it in all day.
I think what we need to do is run it overnight.
Yeah, we could try that. I wish it had a timer so you could time it to come on at like 5 a.m.
Yeah, well, that would require an entire electric starting system and everything.
But you don't need it like all through the night when you're under the duvet all night.
Well, the reason for having it on at night is to keep the boat dry and to keep, you know, some temperature in there. Because, yeah, as soon as the sun comes up and is going through the windows, once the curtains come up, it does warm up pretty quick. But...
yeah, because we're side onto the sun, so...
yeah.
So do you miss cruising every week?
Yeah. I miss changing position, having a new place all the time.
Yeah.
That was my favorite thing with not being moored up and not being, you know, in one location is that there's always new well, not necessarily new, because some of it was doubling back to the same place and stuff, but I liked having to get comfortable with each new location.
Yeah. Well, it was new. Like, most of the time it was new. I mean, a lot of the town started to feel quite samey.
Mm-hmm.
But I liked the ritual of the move and like the achievement, like it sounds silly, but the achievement of like ticking off another few miles of the network. Like it felt like you'd done a good day's exploring, you know?
Mm-hmm. For me, each new mile of canal was also a new bit of Britain that, you know, I hadn't had a chance to see. And so like when we got to places like Coventry and Birmingham and Manchester, but also, you know, Fish Lake and Doncaster and all these places that
you've never even heard of.
No, and would never, you know, like some of the little smaller regions and smaller towns and everything. It's quite interesting to see how different they are from the rest of the country, you know, like being able to go into Diggle
and have someone say, "What are you doing in Diggle?"
What in God's name are you doing in Diggle?
Because they weren't Scottish.
No, they weren't Scottish, but I think his actual words were, "What the hell brought you to Diggle?"
They were really good chips in that shop as well.
They were, yeah.
Well, I just walked over the hill, the Pennines, and you'd just been freezing in the tunnel for 2 hours. We were really, really hungry. Back in the days when you still ate chips, they were just tasted really good.
Mm-hmm.
I miss the Huddersfield Narrow Canal.
I miss having different food.
I miss chips.
It's funny, I don't really miss chips that much.
What do you miss? Cheese?
Cheese.
Cookies?
Pizza. Cookies. Burritos.
Okay, so another question. What do you like about having a permanent mooring?
I mean, it's certainly easier for me to be able to get some actual work done.
Yeah.
That was one of the big problems with cruising, was that there was always some reason to be distracted from work.
Well, everything was harder. Like, we can get grocery deliveries now. We don't have to trek out to get groceries. And like deliveries was always a coordination thing. And
well, and like once you started selling maps, it was like
post office every day.
Each new location was a post office run and a grocery run, and usually a laundromat would be involved. You know, if we're sitting somewhere for 3 days, we've got to kind of do all of those things within the next 3 days.
And we needed to make sure that we always had the water and the LSAM
Nearby. Yeah.
But like I've said it a few times, but if we had to pick somewhere to stop, I can't imagine a
better one.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny because I look back on my life and I'm like, again, thinking about all the times in which some middle manager or upper manager was like, you know, interviewing me and being like, so what's your 5-year plan? I'm like, well, tell you what it doesn't involve is ending up in a tiny little suburb of Cambridge. But here I am. You never know what's going to happen.
So,
there's a deer sleeping over there. You stand up, it's just about to go out of view, so it's to the right of the tree.
Was it
brown
sleeping?
Body.
I can see it. What's it sleeping in the daylight for?
I think it's just trying to stay out of view.
It's not doing a very good job of that.
I'm not sure it's a deer. It could be a... Oh yeah, no, it's definitely a deer.
Is it moving?
Yeah. One of those little...
Oh, like the little... It's not sleeping, it's just
Well,
very little.
he was down.
Sorry I didn't film that, but...
Oh, hello, little crazy deer. Now you're looking at me. I see you.
Speaking of 5-year plans, do you know what day it is tomorrow?
It's our anniversary.
How many years have we been married?
I think that means we've been married for 7 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent maths. Best 7 years ever, right?
Yeah.
You could sound more convincing.
I mean, you know, it's been a good 7 years.
I've come to stand at the front, and honestly, it is such a nice day. The sun is shining on my face, and the view in the direction that we're going is just so peaceful. And there's so much wildlife around. And we're very glad we ran out of diesel. I'm cold. But there's a wine beam just coming up the corner. So it's quite exciting. So this is the marina entrance if you're moored here, but the service point is past Hope's Corner, just where Michael pointed across my picture.
Sorry.
So yeah, just round the corner up here. And yeah, it's quite a sharp turn. You made that turn like really easy.
It is easy. I mean, relatively easy.
Wind and two rivers merging.
Yeah, you just gotta pay attention to where the water is, where it's flowing and stuff. I mean, the water's in front of you, but if it isn't, you've got bigger problems.
So just a little reverse back to the junction. Avoiding Bacardi Spice.
And Cardi B.
Even if we were permanently moored, I don't think I would want a Dutch barge.
Yeah.
Well, it would have to be permanently moored because you get so comfortable with a mooring that it becomes a bit of a hassle taking the boat out, and I can just imagine it being more of a hassle with a barge.
Why?
Because bigger. So the sign says Cambridge 12 miles and the River Cam, Ely 4 miles and the River Great Ouse. Any urges to turn around and go to Ely and beyond?
Well, I wouldn't mind doing an Ely trip. We're also 19 miles from St. Ives.
St. Ives is nice.
There was a man from St. Ives, something,
Not us
something,
again.
7 wives.
How many were going to St. Ives? One for sure, I think, is what the conclusion that we came to.
Yeah. Alright, there you go. We're facing in the right direction now.
Kind of.
Heading up.
Yeah, so how many litres did we get in the end?
232 litres.
We got a lot of diesel. You can see Ely Cathedral in the haze in the distance.
The ship of Ely.
So coming up, we'll call it coming up, it's actually coming down.
Yeah.
We had the sun behind us, so we had beautiful views. Now we're sailing into the sun.
Yeah. So we've got that nice sparkling reflections off the water that's like so pretty and blinding at the same time. And if you stare at it long enough, you start to get really dazzled and sort of a little bit seasick.
What wildlife did we see on the way up?
Down. We've established this just seconds ago. We saw one of those little deer. The Montauk, I think they're called. Montauk, something like that.
Can't remember. But we see them quite often near the moorings. So.
Yeah. Basically, they're small deer. And we saw kestrel and a lot of different ducks and geese. The gray geese, the white heron, or great heron, I think it's called. A couple pheasants. Those Polish horses.
Oh yeah. The at Wicken Fen is like a big nature reserve, and they have wild horses, and we could see them in the distance.
Oh, and those fancy ducks.
On our mooring, we've got an otter, but I've never met the otter. Michael's met him or
Several
her
times.
many times.
And then there's the multiple ravens / crows. I'm not really sure. They're either very big crows or very small ravens.
Michael's named them all Bob.
I didn't name them Bob. That's their name. Bob. They're like walking along like, I'm just kind of bobbing along. It's like how every swan is named Gerald. I mean, it's a totally different reason why every swan's named Gerald.
The swans walk down the road going, Gerald.
Gerald? How you doing, Gerald? Gerald, how you doing?
So we're about 2/3 of the way back now, and the sun is really bright, but it is freezing. And we just saw another narrowboat, so that was exciting. I think we've definitely seen that one before.
Yep, this doesn't work. I can't see through it.
Michael needs his sunglasses back. really scrappy. I came inside because I was so cold, but you can see just over the jerry cans that we're nearly back at the lock, so I'm going to have to be brave and go back outside again, but at least when we finish the cruise we'll be able to have a fire. George, come here. Yeah, so we're back on the mooring and it's fine, but it's not the easiest just because the back hangs out, but it's fine, it's fine. So Michael's just doing the backup because obviously we have it permanently done up when we're moored here, and then we need to put the solar panels back up and the Wi-Fi back up. So undo everything we did this morning basically.